Am I the a-hole for flipping out on BF after he went on a couples retreat without me? Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more daily content. I'm 29F. My BF is 30 meters. I have 2 kids that are not his biologically, and we have been together for years. Last week his buddy invited him and to go on a 4-day couples retreat with him, his wife and his other friend and his GF. Apparently there is couples massages, romantic dinners, etc. We were due to leave today. My BF mentioned it to me, so I started looking around for babysitters. Unfortunately I was not able to find a sitter. Their dad hardly ever takes them, and their grandmother is just as much of a deadbeat and only sees the kids to post photos on FB and act like grandmother of the year. Normally when we make plans he will reach out to his mom or Sil, because they are the only people in our area. He didn't do that, so I called them yesterday to see if they would, but obviously they couldn't. I figured since I could not go, he would not go on the couples retreat. I wake up this morning at 5 AM to him packing. I asked him what he was doing, and he said packing. I need to leave here by 7 AM to meet up with George. So I asked him why he still intended to go on a couples retreat when his partner couldn't even go, and I asked him if he had even wanted me to go, since he didn't bother helping me look for a sitter originally anyways, and he said if you wanted to go, you would have found a sitter. I don't have time for this. This really bothered me a great deal. He kissed my forehead and left 15 minutes ago. I get a text from him which included pictures of his suite that had flower petals, champagne, even a heart-shaped bed. I texted back and said have a good time. He took this as an attack and said don't be clipped with me. It's not my fault you didn't find a sitter. So I responded with I wasn't being clipped, and it would have been nice if you could have helped find a sitter. I know they aren't your kids, but if you wanted me to go you should have put in effort. He responded with you're being an asshole right now, and quite frankly, you're being overdramatic as well. Am I the a-hole for getting upset with the fact that he went without me? NTA. He's supposed to be your partner. The whole if you wanted to go you would have found a sitter could easily be turned into if he wanted you to go he would have found a sitter. It's a weak argument. The fact that he took have a nice time as a confrontational text rather than genuine makes it seem to me like he knew he was doing something that would bother you. It's all very unnecessary emo. You aren't is he really there alone? To be a fifth wheel for 4 days? That isn't going to be weird for him. Is he normally like this? I'm glad for him that he's happy doing couples activities solo, because I have a feeling that's going to be his only option going forward. NTA. He sounds like he knows you're right that this is a crap move, and he'd rather start fights with you than admit it. If the story is true, I don't think he was alone. I'm sure his side chick had fun. Yeah, poor me. My girlfriend is horrible and bailed on me. I can imagine what he's telling everyone who undoubtedly asks where his partner is. Don't his friends think he's kinda ridiculous and purposefully picked a fight so he can use that as an excuse to talk to her less throughout trip? Yeah, I had one of those. Picking fights was so he could have uninterrupted time with other girl. That's true. This reads as super sus to me. I know it's bad to jump to conclusions, but to me it really feels like he stuck finding a babysitter on her alone intentionally. Like he was hoping she'd be unable to come with him on this couple's trip with his friends. Maybe there is someone else there that he plans to be spending time with. Also, sending that picture was literally just to rub it in, and you can't convince me otherwise. He is happy that Op isn't there with him, and now he's gaslighting her to make her feel like she's the one behaving confrontationally. Op, you're NTA. Maybe change the locks while he's gone. Make him find a sitter for himself to stay with. Yeah, why the F would he send her the picture of the bed, rose petals and champagne? What did he think her reaction was going to be? I mean, he knew it would piss her off. That's why he immediately assumed that her have a nice time was snappy. He just wanted a reason to scold her like a child. Easier to participate in the threesomes without your GF. Tauche. I hate the sentiment against being a third wheel though. There's absolutely nothing wrong with tagging along with friends who are couples if they're fine with it. I'm a single dude and I'd love to go on a couples retreat with pals if they were down. No sane couple would want a third wheel on a couples retreat, as one should be able to guess from the name. It's about couples. You bring friends on regular vacations. You go with couples, or just your partner, on couples retreats. Same. Me and my husband have had friends in the past worried about being the third wheel, but we love having other people join us to events and stuff. I'm always the third wheel. I never dated in my life and all my friends are married. I'm happy to go with them nearly anywhere, not to a couples retreat. For the same reason I wouldn't take my married gal pal with me to a singles retreat. No man would go on a couples retreat without his so, unless he was going there to meet someone. Op's boyfriend always reaches out to his family to see if they can babysit, yet conveniently didn't this time. Sounds like he either has someone on the side or is meeting someone for the first time. This whole last minute thing is highly suspicious. Either his friend told him about it a while ago, or there is no retreat and the boyfriend is using it as a cover for his cheating. This is not true at all. What kind of idiot would make plans to meet up with someone else in the side hopes that his GF would not be able to get a babysitter? That's asinine. If his GF finds a sitter, then he suddenly has to call off his meetup. If he was meeting someone else, he wouldn't have offered for her to come. He damn sure wouldn't be rubbing it in her face about not coming and pick a fight. He would have shut the fuck up and screwed the new girl, not fighting with his GF. Odds are he knew Op wouldn't be able to find a sitter, so last minute he didn't even call his family. If he really wanted to spend the time with Op, then he would have helped her to find a sitter or not go at all. You'd be surprised. A guy I used to date once behaved similar to this with me. I went out with a girlfriend to a show, pre-planned in advance OFC. The BF at the time spent the week beforehand trying to make me feel guilty about how bored and lonely he'd be without me and tried to guilt me into not going. Night of, he texted me a few times whilst we were out. I don't remember exactly what, but general chat, probably complaining he was bored etc. Then he was in a mood with me when I got home for leaving him out, and because he had to spend the night at home bored. I later found out he had been out on his bike. From that I found out he had actually taken an ex out on his bike, which eventually turned into they'd met up, pre-planned to go out on the bike, and ended up I found this out in dribs and drabs over weeks. In reality they had actually been at least once a week for months behind both my back and her BF's back, and I had never suspected a thing. My point is, he tried to make me feel like shit for going out when he knew he was going to use the time to go out with his side chick. He had no reason to do that. He could have just stfoo. This have a nice time is the least confrontational thing you could have said. What the hell were you supposed to say? Wow, looks amazing. So happy for you. XXX. He clearly knows he effed up. Or 1,000 middle fingers to him. It kinda bugged me that he sent the pic in the first place. I might even say that that was confrontational. He knew by this point that she was upset. He went her just for him to send a pic of the cute couple's room she's missing out on. Before we got married, my husband would help me find a sitter for my dog so we could go away, and we often had to rearrange plans around her needs, and he did so with a smile. Op's partner is an absolute R for doing this and for making Op feel as though she might be in the wrong here. Sounds like he's not up for a relationship invoking kids. I would find cat sitter for my husband when we were dating if we were heading out of town. These are children he is helping her parent, and he treats them like this. He's definitely tar, but I wonder if he's mad at her because he thinks she intentionally didn't get a sitter because she doesn't want to go or something, and sending the pits was like a look what you chose to miss out on thing. Again, just to reiterate very clearly, Op is NTA, but I wonder if he misread the situation based on his "if you want to you would have found a sitter" comment. Also, you seem to think "have a nice time" was genuine. It doesn't seem like it was. It also sounds like he's not committed to being in a relationship with someone who has kids. If his attitude is "you can't find a sitter, so I'll go without you," rather than "we can't find a sitter, so we can't go." NTA, and I have a strong feeling that someone who isn't you is there with him. Exactly. Get rid of him before he gives you an STD. This sub. OMG, he went without you. He's cheating. Or he could just be a dumbass and sees no problem with going on a couples retreat alone. Oh, you made it this far? You're a beast. Subscribe for more daily content. Okay, bye.